How's it going, guys, and welcome back. So we finally reached Hunter rank 100 in Monster Hunter Worlds, which means it is time for tips and tricks I wish I knew earlier. One of the most essential features in the Monster Hunter games are the farming mechanics, which in this is a little bit different. They work as item retrieval NPCs. It doesn't really matter what the game wants to call it, but it's essentially your way of passively obtaining the items you're going to need to craft your basic necessities, such as honey for your potions, your sleep herbs for your tranquilizers, etc., all of the essential stuff. And while of course you can go out into the open zones and simply farm these yourself individually by picking them up from the map as they do respawn, the best way of doing this is unlocking these item retrieval NPCs in each region. What these item retrieval NPCs allow you to do is select a specific material you want each of them to gather, and they will occasionally send them back to Nata at your base camp, and you can just collect them all from there. Most of these NPCs will be unlocked around chapter 4.2 and 4.3, which is in high rank. Very quickly for their locations, the one in the plains, you want to go to Kunafa and seek out the NPC called Santo. Santo will give you a side quest called Beware of the Gypceros. Once you've completed the hunt and return to Santo to complete the side quest, you'll see another NPC nearby called Murtabak, which will have this item gatherer icon just above them. This is the way you can see who these item retrieval NPCs are. So speak to Murtabak after finishing Santo's side quest, and he will now be unlocked as one of your item retrievals. So you can just select what item you want him to gather for you. It's obviously, the more stars on each of the materials, the better they're going to be at gathering that specific material. The item retrieval NPC for the forest region is going to be found in Woodwood Hideout, and specifically we're going to be looking for the NPC called Plump Peach. He will also give us another side quest, complete his side quest, at least the first one, and he will also be unlocked as our second item retrieval NPC. The third NPC we're looking for is Ada, which can be found in the Oil Well Basin region, and specifically we're going to be looking around the Forge area, and she will give us a side quest called Ada's Apprehension. By finishing Ada's Apprehension, we'll unlock Saber as the third item retrieval NPC. This NPC can be found just on the lower area of the base camp here in Oil Well Basin. I believe this one is also unlocked in chapter 4.2 or 4.3. As for the fourth one in the Peaks of Accord, you don't actually need to do any side quests. You simply need to go and talk to an NPC up here called Apar. If she's not there or she doesn't unlock as the item retrieval yet, simply advance the story a little bit further. I'm not sure exactly when this one unlocked, but she will give you a side quest. However, you don't actually need to complete her side quest to unlock her as an item retrieval NPC. The fifth and final one is found in the ruins of Wyveria. For this one, you will need to advance the main story until chapter 5.1 and speak with the NPC called Tashin, who will give you the astonishing adaptability side quest. Complete the side quest and return to Tashin, and then speak to the NPC next to him called Rashir, and Rashir is going to be your fifth and final item retrieval NPC. So once you've unlocked either one or multiple of these, you can speak to Nata at your base camp, and here you can select which of the items you want each of the NPCs to collect for you, and then just return here every 1 or 2 in-game days and collect a bunch of materials for no effort whatsoever. Next up, if you played the other Monster Hunter games, I'm sure you're wondering where are the Armor Charm and the Power Charm. Both of these are going to be obtained by completing side quests in the Peaks of Accord. The first one will be able to obtain at Hunter rank 15 by completing the side quest called Secure Wounded Hollow. This side quest is started by speaking to Cobb, which can be found right here. Finish this side quest and he will give you the Armor Charm, which will be sent directly to your item box. As for the Power Charm, you will need to advance the story until you get to Hunter rank 20, and nearby where we started the previous side quest, there will be an NPC called Rex. Speak to Rex and do the side quest called Ask Gatekeeper. This will obtain you the Power Charm. In case this is your first experience with a Monster Hunter game, the Armor Charm and the Power Charm are so good because by simply having them in your item pouch, they grant you attack and defense bonuses completely for free. So make sure you don't leave these hanging around in your item box. Make sure you have them in your actual item pouch at all times. As for the Armor and Power Talons, which are the upgraded version of these, so far I believe they're not in the base game. They will most likely be added in a later update. We mentioned before the item retrievals are the best way of getting all of the essentials that we need. However, if you do want to go out into the open world and find some of these yourself, it's worth a reminder that while we have the map open, you can press right and left on the D-pad to filter by specific base camps or by specific materials or ore mining locations and anything you like, and then simply click R3 and this will mark it as the target, and then your chocobo, that's not a chocobo, will automatically take you there directly. Also, while looking at the region maps, remember that you can press square to check out all of the enemies available in this location at the current time. These will cycle, they won't always be the same ones, some of them disappear, some of them come back, and you can actually do this on the world map as well to see in each individual region which monsters are there. So if you are looking to hunt a specific monster, this is a great way to check in all of the regions very quickly to see if they're already available before having to refresh the area. If you are in high rank, you can actually select them here from the map menu and create a survey, which is essentially just a custom quest to hunt that specific monster. And you can see what the bonus rewards are here, and if you do like that specific monster with those specific rewards, you can actually save any of these field surveys you create as an investigation, so you can repeat that very same monster up to 3 times more. This is great essentially if it has really good bonus rewards, so you can get them more than once. Also, if you are into the trophy hunting aspect of the game and you find a specific enemy that has the gold crowns, you can save this for an investigation to then share it and do it with your friends so they can also get the gold crowns. Also, as a side note, if you are into the trophy hunting aspects, getting 100% of everything done, you can actually check if any of the monsters have a gold, silver, or mini gold crown by just looking through the binoculars at them. You'll be able to see the icon without the need to actually slay every single enemy and find the crowns that way, so that speeds up that process a lot. It's also worth noting that all high rank armor that you create is also doubled as layered armor, which essentially means any high rank armor you craft you can use just for the visual aspect of it without the need of actually changing your armor. So if you have a really nice looking armor but you don't like the effects of it, you can equip any other armor and then simply change the appearance back at the tent. In your quest to create these very good looking armors and weapons in the game, you're going to be missing some materials. A good quality of life thing that's really good in these games is that you can wishlist any armor or weapon that you're trying to craft. The reason the wishlist is so good in this game is because then when you go into your optional quest to do any random hunts, you'll be able to see this pin icon over any of the hunts that have any of the items required for your wishlist items to make it easier to filter them out. Again, once you do reach high rank, you'll be able to rest at either any of your tents or also by simply open up a barbecue anywhere in the world map, and you can select the rest option. The rest option will allow you to change the weather and time of day, and also just pretty much refresh what enemies are available at that current time. So it's always a nice thing to have if you don't like any of the enemies there or you're looking for a specific enemy. It's also worth remembering that you can check the intel of any of the monsters in the game, which is a great way to read up on the weaknesses of what body parts are breakable more than once, and even on the read up itself you can actually find some useful information that could help you out in battle. So in the first few days or weeks even, you're most likely not going to remember the weakness of every single enemy, so be sure to check up on these every time you head out into a hunt to see what type of weapon you should be using or what type of armor could be useful for that specific hunt. Also, before you head out into hunts, it's important to each time restock up on your potions or your traps and stuff like that from your tent. A great thing about the Monster Hunter games are the custom loadout menus. You can actually make as many custom loadouts, well, not as many as you want, but you can make a few custom loadouts, and this way your item pouch has specific items that you want, and you don't have to individually pick out each item every time you're restocking. You can go into your custom loadouts and just simply reselect it, and it will stock up automatically everything to fill that specific loadout each time. And you can make multiple of these, so you can have one custom loadout for, let's say, capturing creatures. You can have another custom loadout for maybe, I don't know, specifically fighting a venom creature with some antidotes. You can have a bunch of these. I only really use one specific one with the basics, so I don't have to mess around with random items in my item pouch all the time, but definitely go ahead and check out this menu. Also, if you are maybe a bit less organized or you do enjoy having a bunch of items and everything available at all times, while you hold down the L1 button to open up your radio menu, instead of pressing the square and circle buttons to toggle through your selected toolbox at the bottom one at a time, you can press the touchpad while holding down L1 and gain access to your entire taskbar at the same time if you need to quickly rush over to a specific item. This next one, unfortunately, I'm not aware of exactly when it becomes available, as I didn't realize until a little bit later on, but at some point during the story, if you go to Kunafa village here and speak to Nona when she has this icon above her head, you unlock the ability to completely customize your sacred, which is pretty cool. You can completely change like the colors and stuff around on it, which isn't available from the start of the game. Before we end the video, a few more quick side tips. We're going to throw these in here as quickly as we can. As you're probably aware, there's many pop-up camp locations available in each of the regions, and these are really useful as when you have a camp up, you can use it as a fast travel point at any time. But you don't actually need to go to each of them to actually build the camp each time. As long as you've gone past there and specifically seen the camp and unlocked it as sort of an area, you can go to the Palico NPC here at the base camp and you can just build the camps from here, which makes it great to unlock more fast travel points, because loads of times I've run past them but haven't stopped to build a camp every single time. This is also useful to rebuild them if you did get them destroyed for placing them in sketchy areas. As you're probably aware, to capture enemies in this game instead of slaying them, when they're weak, you can simply place a trap on the ground and then hit them with 2 tranquilizer shots. And while sometimes you will be able to tell visibly when the enemy is looking a bit weaker, if you want to be completely sure, all you need to do is check the minimap, and if you see the skull icon sort of flashing above the enemy's icon on the map, that means they are weak enough to ready to capture. So as soon as you see that skull icon, you can go for the capture. Speaking of icons, occasionally on the world map, you'll see this yellow sort of meat icon on some of the regions. This means that there's an NPC in that area that's ready to make a special meal, let's call it. So if you do see that icon, be sure to jump into that region and quickly seek out the NPC preparing the meal to get normally pretty good buffs. Anyway, that is it, guys. Be sure to leave in the comments down below any extra tips and tricks you may have come across. I hope you did find this video helpful. If you did, don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe for more content coming very soon, and we'll see you next time.